What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm with the boys, Xavier and Nick. As always, guys, we are going to be covering this weekend's pay-per-view, UFC 326. It was the card. It happened. We have a lot of things to talk about. We actually watched it at our boys Xavier's house. Really fun time watching it live with the boys. But let's get down to business, guys. Let's discuss this BMF title fight. A lot of controversy around it. Was it really a BMF fight? We don't know, but Charles Oliveira
The
absolutely dominated
BS
Max
title,
Holloway.
the BS title, bro. The
Absolute
late that
domination from Charlie Olives. No answer for the takedowns from Max Holloway. Charles Oliveira is our new BMF champion. We'll start with the guy who's giving a round of applause. Clark, what do you got to say, buddy, for your boy? He got it done.
He whooped Max's ass. Point blank. Simple. Look, was it the most entertaining fight? No. But I do like, and that's the big criticism on the fight. It's a BMF fight, blah, blah, blah. That's the UFC's fault, bro. I've been saying forever this belt is fake. It should have never been a thing. And we're all gonna get mad now because Olivera actually decided to go through the winning path. That was his best case to victory. And they're like, well, this isn't a BMF title. Well, it's a fake belt. Like, this was a main event, and Olivera went out there to get the dub. What I will say is, I expected Charles to get Max down at least once or twice. Never did I imagine how easy it was going to be once he got him down there to just completely control him. Like, Max seemed like, and this is like probably one of the first times we've seen Max like off his back or getting back taked, at least in a long time. I mean, I can remember McGregor doing it a little bit back in the day, but he looked like he had nothing down there, honestly. I'll give him credit though, didn't get finished. I thought there were some positions that were good submission attempts that could get a lot of people out there. Max did do a good job holding Charles off. But besides that, I mean, it was one-way traffic for my boy. I didn't expect it to be that easy. I wish I would have stayed with him in my parlay. I could have won a lot more money. Is the title fight of a BMF disappointing? Of course it is. We want to see more punching, damage. You know, I thought it was a big step up, though, from DDP Hamzat. If we're just comparing those two, I felt like Oliveira at least was trying to finish the fight through submission and at least throwing some nice elbows at times, at least doing something. Like I felt maybe like round, four, like towards the end, it kind of got a little hold him down there, not a lot, but he did what he had to do. I mean, I didn't expect it would be so easy, but we'll take the easy money at the end of the day. I mean, that's another got to be 100K in Oliveira's pocket because it's Oliveira, but I mean, this is easy money out here for us. I never thought it'd be that easy, but I thought devastating look for Holloway though. That's all I gotta say on that.
well, for one, I hope he made a whole lot more than 100K. I mean, I would expect more in the half a mil type range because this is a numbered card. Say what we want about like how what we thought about the quality of the card in general, but like this is a number card. He is a headliner. Like Livegate, all that. I hope that both of these guys cleared at least half a million. Like, let me just say that. Especially like the names that they both are in the sport. Like, I'm pretty sure that they are gonna get more than 100K. But that's besides the point, man. Let's talk about the fight. Um, one word, disappointed, man. Disappointed in Max, to be honest. Um, a lot of people are blaming Charles like it's his fucking fault that Max can't stuff a takedown. And Max is my boy. I love Max more than anybody, but like. Come on, man. What was that in the grappling department? I felt like a lot of it seemed a lot more just strength issue, point blank. Cause I thought that like Max was doing the right things in a lot of the positions, and they would end up in like little 50-50s. You know what? It kind of reminded me of Wei Lee versus Shevchenko,
Mm.
where like Wei Lee's clearly doing the right things. It's not like she doesn't understand what she needs to do, but it's just like when they both are in that 50-50 body lock position, like she's going for a ride, and Holloway just here was just going for a ride like 9 times out of 10 every time, pretty much. I thought that Charles he looked pretty good on the feet as well, but it was largely because he never really let Max settle into his rhythm. Charles would throw like a 1-2, maybe a teep or something, and then right when Holloway gets into his little bouncy stance, throws a 1-2, maybe like lands a 1-2-3 piece combination. Charles is faking the swing and that he's getting into the body lock, getting into the clinch, where the takedowns came super easy. Like he did a good job of not really letting Max get into his flow state, honestly. And I mean, as we've seen, like recently, especially with the Bilal JDM fight, where it's like if a wrestler is getting touched up already, they're getting pieced up, then all of a sudden the takedowns are come a lot harder. You know what I mean? When you're like shooting them out of desperation, whereas like Charles kept himself from doing that. He did not engage in the slugfest that I think that we all expected. We all kind of expected a war here. I'm pretty sure Charles was promising a war, but he kind of just instead did what a lot of fighters do, cap during the build up and then, go out and win the fight. Um, I will say what looks better, like for a fighter that clearly has championship aspirations still. Um, if we had said like, oh man, like Charles really went out on his shield for the BMF title, but he got like sparked by Max, that's a lot worse, right? At the end of the day, I don't think anyone's not impressed with Charles ultimately. Anyone who's like really not impressed with him are just being a hater, honestly. Because the performance was super impressive, man. Max Holloway, say what you want. He's still one of the best lightweights in the world. He clearly proved that against Gaethje, who's fighting for the interim title. So it's like that should show you how good Max is. It might be just a rock paper scissors situation, but that's like nothing new to the top contenders of lightweight. There's usually a dominant champion and then like some kind of rock paper scissors going on in the top five. And I think that we might have just uncovered one of those. Holloway clearly, I don't know what he can do besides like try to get put on some more size. Because I don't think that what we saw was a technical deficiency. You know what I mean? I just think it was a physicality issue. I think that he would struggle with like an Armin after seeing that. Obviously, would obviously get mauled by like a Islam. Like, so it's like we have to reevaluate some things. I thought that his takedown defense would hold up better here. Um, he might have to go and train with the city kickboxing guys and find out some more like methods for defending these takedowns, cause for smaller guys, cause I don't know. That seemed like a gap very big, very large to bridge at this point in his career. Shout out Max though for surviving. There were a lot of times I thought he could be fucked. To be honest, he kept the chin tucked, kept doing the right things. I think he got like his black belt after the fight just because of like his submission defense from his jiu-jitsu coaches. So that was pretty cool. Like he got like a
So
victory even in defeat as a martial artist. I think that he did prove a lot in his defensive grappling, but not in terms of his get up ability or takedown defense. So he's got some work to do if he wants to touch belt again. But I can't say it's like impossible for him with like all like the people that are kind of aging out of this division. So I don't think it's over for him. Like he said, he'll be back. But this was tough. I hope they give him a little bit of a more favorable matchup next time. Um, because that is not what we want out of a Max Holloway fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple thoughts on the fight. First of all, Olivera, yeah, I don't think he should be like worried about what the fans are saying at all. First of all, this guy has like 1,000 exciting fights. It's okay to have one boring one or whatever. And it's not his solely his fault that the fight was boring. It's a two, it takes two to dance. And Max Holloway, I understand people are like retroactively saying now, oh, Max never fought a grappler. And that is true. He never fought like a straight up grappler, but that's not an excuse to get taken down 100 times over 5 rounds. Like, that's just not a valid excuse. I don't care how many strikers he's fought. I thought Max Holloway's performance was kind of, I mean, it was terrible. Like, the takedown defense was not there at all. I get Oliveira is an extremely good grappler, but besides Michael Chandler, who has he done this to really? I don't know. But shout out Charlie Olives. The whole BMF thing, like,
It's dead. It's
That's
dead.
the issue.
yeah.
That's the issue.
Like I
Like,
said, if oh, go ahead.
no, Ed, you could finish.
Like, yeah, if I'm Oliveira, like in my head, I'm not thinking this is a BMF fight. I have to stand there and bang. Like, no, I might get slept again, like I did against Taporia. It's more on Max and the BMF thing. It's like as MMA fans, as hardcore UFC fans, we don't need this belt. We understand who the bad mother effers are. We understand that Max and Oliveira are two of the most exciting fan favorite guys. We don't need a cheap belt that says BMF on it. I don't know. And my biggest issue with the BMF guys, how is it that two guys are fighting over a belt, this BMF belt, when Ilya Taporia just finished both of them? How is the champion of the division who beat the guy who has the belt not have the belt? That just always that never set well with me. I hate that. What do you guys think about that
Well,
whole thing?
I agree because, like, look, first off, Max should have, if it's a real belt, right? Shouldn't Max have lost it versus, he should have put it up versus Taporia, but he
For
did.
sure. And then why is it up against why is it on the line versus Oliveira but not on the line against Ilya? Like I don't
Oh,
get it.
I don't know. I get because I guess they just didn't like it would make it more exciting. They'd have two belts on the podium. Like I think he brought it anyways, and it was there.
Yeah, he
But
was carrying it around, but it was never on the line. It's just a prop, like
yeah,
which
like
Max Holloway doesn't need.
It is a prop. I think you guys are looking at the belt all wrong, and it's giving you like a negative connotation to it. Like you have to think about like why this belt was even created in the first place. Like it was because like wasn't there some fight that fell out of the cart with Nate Diaz and Masvidal or something like, and so they had to like bump that fight to be the main event, and then with no title fight on a pay-per-view card, it kind of like just felt shitty. So they're like, oh, create a title for these like fan favorite type fighters. Um, I think that that's kind of like all the belt is. It should not be something that like like it almost like isn't defended in my mind in the first place. You know what I mean? It's just something that like right now if Charles Oliveira like has the belt and like someone else like there could be a BMF title fight in any division right now. So it's like he doesn't have the one BMF. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the BMF is confined to that division necessarily. You know what I mean? They can make one at any given point between any given fan favorite fighters where when they just want to make it seem like a slightly bigger deal and justify the fight going 5 rounds. You know what I mean? Um, so like it does not make sense that like I do not want people to defend that against actual champions. Like, if you're in a championship fight, the sideshow that is the BMF title should not be the forefront of anyone's mind. You know what I mean? It's about fighter A trying to go and get that title from fighter B. You know what I mean? Like, that is the story. That's all that we ever should need in this sport. Like, that's what it's really all about ultimately. It's trying to be the very best. Like, I don't want like this shit defended against Ilya. Now he has to hold around and parade around some fake ass belt for no fucking reason that no one gives a fuck about. You know what I mean? And then what? Like it becomes WWE at this point. You know what I mean? Where they unify titles and someone just has two, but it's one. You know what's the point? Because now all of a sudden, anytime that the champ fights, now okay, like they get like
We're
what
like
happened
stuck with the belt.
like Islam versus JDM for example, that type of a fight. Okay, boom, and now like that person just has the BMF title for no reason. Like, no, I would just say just like I don't think even every time Max Holloway fights, it needs to be defended. It's just more of like a, you know, if the matchup makes sense and it's kind of like a BMF type matchup, you just throw the belt on there just to like show the people like we recognize as the UFC like what we're doing with this matchup. I think that's all it really needs to be, personally.
I, I feel you. I just hate they have a plastic big ass belt that they carry around. Like, why can't we just have a cash prize on top of that? We can call it the BMF title, let's say, but it's an extra 300K if you win
I
that.
mean, I'm sure that the BMF title comes with like some pay bullshit, like pay bump shit.
I just yeah, the fake belt is just the confusing part. I do feel you. I think like if they want to make this BMF belt a real thing, have the BMF at least defend it, like skip around divisions. Have like Olivera fight
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
like who's that welterweight? Like have him fight Usman or something like that. Like a cool matchups. Like that's how you fix the BMF belt. But it seems like the and I think that's what they used to do. But it was like once Poirier Benoit was that BMF?
No.
No, that was normal. Okay. It felt like once Gaethje and Max happened, everyone was like, "Oh, this is a real belt. That was a great fight." And it's like I just never. It just should have never been a thing. I appreciate it. It's just very much like they're just the same guys fighting in a division. Like this is a fight night main event belt, basically. Like it, they're just contenders fighting each other. I don't even think it is like a BMF. They're just getting up the rankings, and then they'll probably fight for the title.
No
So
facts. I think that my biggest issue with this BMF title is if you take away the fact that this is a BMF title fight, no one will be like, or at least MMA fans at large usually would not be as upset with Charles about how that fight played out. You know what I mean? I just don't like the unfair expectation that we're putting on the like it puts a different connotation of like what we expect to see on the fight. Whereas if you remove that, people are like, what a masterful performance by Charles. Dominated him with the grappling the whole time. Like that was an amazing performance objectively against one of the best guys in the history of this sport, and no one's appreciating it because of the fact that oh, it wasn't like the slobber knocker that we expected. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, and I'm saying this as a person that bet on Max, who cheered for Max, who has him on my fantasy team. All of that. It's just kind of like I'm very disappointed with how the fight played out because Max couldn't stop a takedown. Not because like I'm mad at Charles for not going out there and getting Jin. That's what I bang on him for. I've banged on this man damn near his whole career for this exact same thing, and I'm not gonna turn on him when he actually does what he should do and fights intelligent. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out Charles, man. Let's move on from this fucking fight because I think we've said enough about this shit, but like fuck, man. Like, shout out Charles, bro. He fucking hooped. Max, get back to the drawing board, bro.
I will add, I think that's the best win of his career, honestly. Out of all the fights he's,
I would say I would disagree, but it's up there. I'd say it's top three.
what are you gonna say at Poirier?
I
Poirier.
mean, dude, winning the belt, or maybe the
Poirier.
Gaethje one. Maybe the finishing Gaethje like that was crazy because that was for the belt. That one.
Okay. Hey, fair enough. The Poirier one, yeah, we can skip past
I'll say
Poirier.
the Gaethje one's my favorite performance biz.
I bet.
Uh, really quickly, Max Holloway said he's not done. I think uh BSD or Patty Pimblin are perfect matchups for Max Holloway. But let's talk about the winner really quick. Charles Oliveira does win the belt. He's at the tippy top of the division, but has lost to like the guys above him. What is next for him? And does this performance change how you think he does against Armin in a rematch or Ilya in a rematch, maybe?
Definitely Armin, I think. I think there's a case there like that's what needs to happen. I think just run the rematch back. First fight was like it,
Razor thin, bro. Razor thin. And he got bailed out so many times. Charles almost had him subbed up so many times in that fight.
It should be a main event though. Like don't make it a three rounder, whatever. I mean, I don't know if the BMF will be on the line or like what c comes from that, but I mean, Dana already pissed at Zarzukian in the post fight press conference. He was talking mad shit on Zarzukian already, so this man might not get a title this year, next year. We'll see what goes on there, but if you're if he's not getting the title fight, have him fight Olivera. I don't see a fight that makes any other sense, at least for Olivera. I
Yeah,
think
yeah. For Oliveira, like, is Armin the only name that you can see right now?
I don't see who else you like. What are you gonna do? Put Patty up against? That'd be a cool matchup, but I don't like. He just lost to Gage. It's a
I,
weird
I
one. It
I would say, yeah, I would say either. I mean, in
has to
the
be the
in
two.
the interest of like, I'm pretty sure the UFC does not want Patty taking two losses back to back right now. Because like in theory, like when Charles is long gone, like Patty will still be in this division, like one of its bigger names still. So like I will say like maybe Patty Pimblett run like a Dan Hooker or something like you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I agree with that.
Like I do expect him to give him someone he can kind of like more so grapple in his next fight. Um, but yeah, I do think that because of what's going on ahead of Charles, where it's like Ilya and Armin like are two people that beat him very pretty recently. I mean, I could see them just running back the Armin fight because one, it was close, and like two, the UFC just doesn't seem to want to do Armin any favors. So putting him through like the wood chipper that is Charles, that is probably one of the toughest stylistic matchups for him. So I could see them running that again. But besides that, like maybe throw him a BSD, or maybe
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe.
I mean that's really it, honestly. That's really it. Like you can't really do much unless like I've heard about this Connor Shay. Connor was asking for the matchup. Like
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
if you want to have that little sideshow, go ahead. I mean, if Charles is gonna fight like that, I don't like Connor's chances. Um, but
No.
I will say Connor did in the past show good takedown defense against Khabib. And I do not, and he also has like size advantage. Like Holloway is ultimately pretty wiry and small. And I do think that like the takedowns against Connor would not come nearly as easy as that. So maybe Connor would be able to keep it on the feet more, but just because I don't know where Connor is at and like thinking back to a Connor from like when he fought Khabib is foolish in 2026. So like I don't know about if the UFC wants to run that matchup, but like that is also like one fight that he could run and people wouldn't like complain about it or or look at it as like such a step down. Usually could implement some kind of sequence to get off the cage and get back to striking at space. I thought he was doing good on the leg kicks as well. Maybe not enough. I think he could have had a lot more success with that because the Ritter's legs were getting chewed up. But overall, pretty intelligent performance. Yeah. I'm not mad at either guy. I thought I thought it was a good scrap.
Yeah, this one it was a decent fight. Ohio definitely looked good out there. I think we all figured he'd be a little too good for an RDR kind of game plan, and he proved it. Looked good on the feet. I thought he definitely gave art, but RDR, I will give him credit, looked a lot better this time. Um, but I will say it seems like the most he can go now. I feel like now it's like, and it's over for Whitaker, by the way. After these last couple fights,
The random stray Clark. Come on, bro.
What do you do to anybody? What do you do to anybody, bro?
Dude, he's a fan favorite, Clark.
look, he's just old. It happens to the best of the best fighters to ever come through. He's just old, and so, the straight is what it is. Look, RDR, like, he was looking so good with that kind of style versus everybody up until the last two fights, and I feel like he has hit his peak level. Um, I thought he was more aggressive, but clearly hasn't worked hard on the striking. Like, he needs to work harder on that if he wants chances in these fights. I felt like it was better, but it was still like Ohio was just a little quicker. Felt like he was just ahead of the mark the whole fight. The kicks were nice and just kind of broke him down systematically throughout the fight. I agree with the shutout. I thought it was pretty all three rounds of Ohio. He looked good. He looked really good. Nice bounce back win after a tough Imavov loss. Puts him right back in kind of that title competition somewhat. I would say put him or Strickland next. I think that's the fight to clearly make. And knowing Strickland, he won't improve anything in his game. He'll just stick with the jab and cross, and that's okay, I guess. But
That might be enough to beat Ohio though. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even think about that fight
I feel like that's the only fight to make.
because he did call out DDP on the mic. I know we were a little preoccupied, but he did call out DDP.
I'm wondering if DDP was the fight that fell out of the White House card versus like Brendan. There was like one fight that fell out, and
I'm hearing that I was hearing Ariel Hawaii talking about maybe that could have been a Gable Stevenson debut on the White
I
House.
heard that too. Yeah,
okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Um, but yeah, I don't see who else he would fight. I mean, I don't know, middleweight. Like DDP, that'd be a cool fight. I actually don't think that goes very well with him the way he fights, but I mean, shout out, try to get there. I think Strickland is in somewhat easier path in my view.
and also I don't know why I like the DDP Allen fight a lot. I'm not a big Allen guy, but I just like that fight on paper a little bit more. I was thinking maybe Bahio Fluffy, but maybe you don't want to give either of those guys an L right now.
Yeah,
Bahia
Fluffy back to the drawing board. Like get him someone lower, and I like give him a comeback win.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like the UFC is still in both the fluffy business and the Ohio business. I think that there's other people that they would rather both of those guys get a win, you know?
Yeah, and with the Ritter, like you said, Clark, I do think he hit his wall also, but like hitting your wall in the top five, that's not a terrible thing. He has plenty of fun matchups at middleweight. He's still a really fun guy himself, so I'm not really worried about RDR.
He might put
And,
him against Fluffy.
I was gonna say run the Ritter fluffy, man. Weren't they supposed to run that before?
yeah, and then Allen filled in and beat the shit out of Ritter. So
Right.
fuck it.
So we can just run that proper matchup and let Fluffy do the same thing.
All right, guys, let's move on to the featured fight of the night. Roel Rosas Jr. gets a unanimous decision win over number 13 Rob Font. So we should see a number next to Rosas Jr.'s name come tomorrow. A lot of backlash on this fight. What did you guys see out there from Rosas?
I saw a lot of improvement, man. The kid's still only 21 years old. I think that for a 3-year jump, he's made remarkable improvements to his stand-up and his stand-up comfortability. I think that he was popping the jab out there. His jab looked pretty crispy, all things considered, especially since it was Rob Font he was fighting, like damn near king of the jab. Um, I thought that he was able to. We all know what he can do in the grappling department. We know that the grappling pace he could push. We know that he's able to grind his way, grind people to the ground. Um, and sometimes they can get up, but like he can get back down. What we didn't know about his game is like how comfortable can he be on the feet? Because as we well know in this game, like wherever you're uncomfortable, that is where the game is the most taxing. You know. A grappler can grapple all for 5 rounds, but if they strike for two, they're fucking huffing and puffing. You know what I mean? And vice versa. So it's like clearly this man is comfortable in the grappling, but when he's forced to be on the feet, that is where I'm more so concerned with him. And like that's where I'm when I'm watching his fights, that's where I'm more so looking for the growth. And I'm seeing growth in that department in his comfortability. Like this, he was on the feet with Rob Font for like large periods of time, able to avoid most of the hard shots. And then when things got chaotic, knew how to like not panic and shoot takedowns. Like still, get back on the jab, get back on his bike, reset, square up, and then like battle his way and then shoot the takedown when it was opportunistic. You know what I mean? I thought he did a really good job. I did think that it was very like when he had him on the ground, he was very overly concerned with keeping his hands locked. Um and he was not able to open up as much as I probably would have liked. I would like to see him maybe get with Khabib or something, like work on some ground and pound technique. Maybe get with John Jones even. Like I'm sure John will help him out. Like fucking work on like when you get these guys to the ground. I think he's gonna in the future have to do a bit more because I don't think that that's gonna win against the top level guys. Like they're just too good to just be held down with no damage being done to them. Um, but I thought that this was a good step in the right direction and beating Rob Font even at his age, like I think he's 39, 38. But even at the age he is, like beating Rob Font at like 21 years old that impressively, like I'm definitely nothing but impressed with Rosas and his growth.
Definitely not the most interesting fight of the night, but I will say Rosas was impressive. 16 out of 18 takedowns, most control most of the fight. I do think he could have done a little more on the feet to set those up as well, but he didn't even need to. I felt like, and I did pick Font in the preview, but on the day of, I did switch it last second. I was like, Rob Font's weakness in the past has been wrestling sometimes, and I got good vibes from Raul, and he looked great out there. Font couldn't really stuff anything the whole fight. You got control. I don't know how much time it was exactly, but got control most of the fight. And that's versus a ranked guy at 21. Biggest step up in comp, like easily. I mean, who do you even fight last? Like, it's like a massive step up. And to go out there and just walk through him that easily, super impressed. Not an interesting fight, honestly, but I mean, Rawls showed up.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not complaining about the fight either. All the hate online, like this dude is 21, and I'm not even hating on Font. Like I'm not trying to be that guy a dick, but like once again, I'm usually more upset with the guy not defending the grappling well at all. And like I said, I'm not shitting on Font. It's probably really hard, but like that's who usually I target. Like you gotta have some better grappling defense. But no, Rosas Jr. looked great. I don't think anyone should be complaining. If he goes out there and tries to entertain us, he's definitely gonna get fucked up with the lack of experience he has. So I like him sticking to the game plan, and he looks big out there. Like he is growing. Like this kid is going through puberty in front of our eyes in the cage. So shout out Rosas Jr.
Definitely, like when he gets like that 25-year-old man strength, bro, 26, 27-year-old man strength, bro, like when he can really like comfortably hold these guys down and like he'll get better with his hopefully his submissions and like ground and pound, like he's gonna be a problem for a long time, man. Like he's not an easy out for anybody because he's gonna be putting you on that back foot grappling. Facts. And like some of the transitions, bro, how like in the scrambles he can just like scramble his way to end up on top, like really impressive.
Definitely. All right, guys, let's move on to a the next fight here. Performance of the night bonus was given to Drew Dober for knocking out Michael Johnson in the second round. Michael Johnson looked good, won the first round. It was a pretty fun firefight, and Dober landed with the big shot. Down goes Johnson. Yeah, just two vets going at it.
Another one down for the culture, boys. I hate to say it. Um, the legend continues, man. The legend continues. And it's funny because like Drew Dober came up to Michael Johnson before the fight and pulled him aside. I guess there's a video of it online, like him talking to him about how I think at his niece's school or something, like people were saying, "Oh, your uncle's racist," and showing her so basically he was saying it really affects him and fucks with him that there's this narrative out there that he really is racist and really likes to just beat on black fighters, but god damn it, man, when they match you up with a black fighter, what are you to do but fucking separate him from his goddamn consciousness? Hey, the black community is not mad at you, Drew. We're not mad at you, bro. Do your job, baby. Do your job. Um, Shout out Michael Johnson, man. He looked impressive. I just think that it might be time. Um, at the end of the day, he does tend to slow down very rapidly, like round one to round two. How crisp he is declines a solid amount. Um, and I think that we've seen a good example of that in this fight. Like Drew was able to hit him a couple times in round one, but I thought Michael Johnson was landing the cleaner punches, and he was definitely stinging Drew Dober up a little bit early. I think that Drew was kind of struggling with the speed advantage, which a lot of people do against round one Michael Johnson. But at the end of the day, he starts to slow down. The target gets a little bit more fucking locked in, and Drew Dober lined him up, and boom, boom goes the dynamite, boom goes his chin, boom goes his career probably. Shout outs to him. It's been a good ride. I mean, if he wants to get in there and fight like a fucking another old man, just running old man league, I'm fine with that. But I don't want to see him against anyone young. And I feel like if he wants to stick around, that's what they're probably gonna start doing is trying to build him up, build somebody off of him again. And I just don't think that his chin needs to see that anymore. I think that he's done his part for the sport, and he should call it one. To be honest.
Yeah, it's a problem I have seen in MJ's losses of the past few years. He'll start off very well, and I didn't go back on this one. I still stuck with Johnson. I didn't bet on this fight, but uh I thought he looked good. He looked good in the first. I just knew he was the more polished striker than Drew. But the thing about MJ's fight, sometimes he'll look good and it'll slow down just that little bit, and we find out that the it has been gone. It has been gone. It shows Zellhuber's down the toilet right now. He's screwed. uh, yeah, it was a tough KO. Pretty easy one punch. And it happened. What was that one fight? Was it Diego Ferreira?
And RoboCop?
Uh,
Oh, wait, which fight are you talking about?
Diego Ferreira when MJ fought Ferreira. Is that his name? That old Brazilian dude who was in the rankings forever, but for some reason at
Oh,
15.
oh yeah, Ferreira.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I understand
Diego
about
Ferreira.
Diego. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of the same fight here. Like MJ was just way ahead of him.
Called
And
his
then
ass.
second round, just boom, overhand right, just falls back, unconscious. Very similar. So I don't know if it's time to hang it up. It's just clearly at this point, just put him in fun fights against, fighters, I guess, that don't exactly have the athleticism of just built they're in the gym every day type of fucks,
I feel you.
Get him like a skinny Zellhuber, easy. I still think he has left to give. It's just clearly the chin is very gone to me.
No power punchers no more.
Yeah.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, let's move on to the opener of the card. RoboCop gets his revenge over Bruno Ferreira with a nasty KO. They are tied 1-1. They both slumped each other bad, but Saturday was RoboCop's night, guys.
Shout out RoboCop, man. 3 points on the board, baby. 3 points on the board. Got it back in blood, man. I mean, like, I think Colton was like joking around about like, man, like it's been like over a minute and no one's landed a punch. Like, no one's even thrown a punch type shit. Like, it was an early staring match, but it was because like they were both lining each other up for a KO shot. And I mean, it really felt like the first blow that landed. I don't know if it was officially, but it certainly felt like the first clean punch that landed. That was it was all she wrote. Shout out Gregory Rodriguez for sparing his opponent. He didn't try to land any follow up shots. Like I thought he had enough time to really boom him and really put him into the shadow realm for real. But he kind of like spared him. He was like, all right, he's out. You know what I mean? Like kind of didn't even bend down. You know, why waste the knee strength on fucking bending down to slump him even more? You know, very respectful, very classy. KO for him.
Yeah, not much to say. Like he got the fight back. It was, I believe, each fighter landed two strikes. It says, and it was basically one of the first few punches, and he just slumped him right out of it. Like it was crazy, very impressive, great finish for him. Now Rodriguez, middleweight, that little mid area, I think he could find his way up there the way he's fighting right now.
Facts, especially because it seems like a lot of these guys ranked above him are kind of aging out right now.
Hmm.
All right, well, guys, let's move on to the prelims. We have to talk about the last fight on the prelims here. Cody Garbrandt gets a unanimous decision win over Xiao Long. One of the weirdest fights we've ever watched live. I believe there was like three fouls, 2 points taken. Like,
I'm
what just a
gonna find.
fun fight to watch, but
I'm just gonna find this. I'm gonna call this fight Nutgate, bro, because
like the Nutgate
it's
fight.
like it was Cody Garbrandt versus fucking his own balls, bro. Like that shit crazy. Like Zhao Long, I've never seen a fighter give away a fight. Like I took Cody Garbrandt prize points, so we were fucking geeked. Every point that was taken, I don't know about you guys' households, but we were in this bitch geeked. But yeah, shout out Zhao Long, man, for like saving our parlays, bro. Because a lot of cash was made like off of him saving that Garbrandt pick, bro. Um, just piss poor IQ. If I had bet on him, I would be absolutely livid. Like I would not be surprised if he gets cut from the UFC after that shit. If not, like he's on a short leash the rest of his career, bro. Because one more performance with two fouls, even I think he's getting walking papers, bro. Because you cannot be losing fights like that off pure like kicks to the balls, bro. Like he said, Herb literally said one more you're disqualified. Like it was ridiculous.
And he wasn't like dominating, but like he was like pretty clearly winning the rounds. He
With
was just like
with
outpointing him.
with very normal output. Like Cody Garbrandt wasn't really throwing shit. Like he was very gun shy. I mean, he was landing here or there, stinging him here or there, but like I mean, besides like that round one elbow, which caught him clean, like, and then maybe a couple follow up shots after that, like, for most of the fight, Cody Garbrandt was pretty inactive, and like, Zhao Long was kind of coasting to a easy decision had he just not gotten out of his own way, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy to watch just someone throw the fight away. Like, arguably could have been up 2-0. Uh, I gave the first round to Cody though, just because of the knockdown. I didn't know if the judges would see it that way, but I mean, it's only the first round was by far the closest, but yeah, Cody just like I was so upset with him just watching the fight. I was like, bro, like it's not like you're getting beat that bad, but you're just getting clearly outpointed and you're just so far behind and you really didn't do anything to change that. I thought and that's the crazy part. If Zhao Long wasn't a fucking dummy and just didn't even target the mid region, he would have won this fight. Like he would have cruised to it, and he just cost himself. He cost himself the fight, plain and simple. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish by just kneeing in the same area. It was weird, strange fight to watch. I was a little worried, honestly, though, because I think Zhao could have won the fight if all the judges gave him every round. I believe, correct? It's the only way he would have won.
Uh, I think so. Yeah, he would have won by a point, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Would that? Yeah, it would have been a 20. It would have been 28-27 going
Hmm.
his way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only way. Yeah, he just Goober isn't even the way to describe that. Just like, what the hell were you doing, bro? Like, short leash is an understatement. He better perform in the next fight, or he is gone.
Back to China.
He is gone. Back to the road to the UFC. He can get more of those fights.
Turn back around on that road, bro. Go back where you came.
Yes. Guys, really, really quickly before we wrap up, anyone you want to shout out on the card? Shout out Pilato. I always clown on him. He got a nasty win.
Shout out Alberto Montez for his with Tercios. I thought Tercios was looking solid, but like that fucking choke he cinched up was filthy, man. He's clearly got something, man. So shout out. I'm gonna definitely keep my eyes out for him. Venezuela's best.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. That concludes the video. Let us know what you thought about the card in the comments. Please go check out the TikTok. We have some videos coming out later this week about the White House and all that news. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.